Evening all, and welcome to episode 40 of Kerbalism. I can't believe we're already at 40 episodes in. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, so thank you very much for sticking with me for this if you've been from the beginning, and thank you for joining me if you haven't and you've drawn more recently. I'm glad I could bring some small amusement to your life, or I'm glad I could help you pull your hair out, which probably is, the latter's probably more often. But yeah. We need to do things. I've re-put our manoeuvre node in here for Mimus. We've got 4 days to go. And while we're waiting for that to come around, I think we should look at trying to complete this telescope satellite. I have picked up a few more contracts, and the initial boost they give us has given us a nice 627,000. That's quite happy, but we need science. We need a bit of science to unlock new things, to go further than we ever have before. And the Sentinel infrared telescope can help with that. We need to build something that goes to 10 million billion meters. Yep, and 10 at a 0 inclination, so the same inclination as Kerbal, but closer to the sun. So right, let's build a rocket with a satellite on top. And here she is on the launch pad, all ready to go. We've got our Sentinel telescope underneath our fairing there. I'll put all the other science experiments on there that can be transmitted back. Didn't do the ones that require materials and things because this isn't coming back. It's going into orbit of Kerbal, and yeah, staying there. But I don't actually know how much delta V is needed to get to the orbit required. We need to be heading. Let's zoom out here. We need, apparently do not as a plane. We need to be heading somewhere that I do not see the actual I don't actually see where we're supposed to be heading to. That's interesting. There's Duna. There's that. Okay, so right. The contract says 10,000 million, 10 billion, depending on where you're from. That's 4 million. That's 9 million. So it's between Eve and Kerbal. Kerbal's 13. So right. Okay. So I guess first things first, we need to get into orbit. So gravity turn. First guess, you seem to do that. I'm not sure whether the first guess actually is gravity turn, just guessing, or whether it's because I keep using the same booster stage at the bottom. This is the same version with all the stage recovery on it. It's just I keep recycling it. It works. So yeah. So I don't know whether that first guess button is actually changing things based on the weight of things or whatever. But well, so far gravity turn's been pretty good. So let's rely on it once again and see where we can get to. And gravity turn has done a fantastic job of getting us up here again. 80km apparatus, although a little steep, but I'm not all that fussed. In order to leave Kerbal's sphere of influence and slow down, I need to fire along the path backwards. So that basically means I want to fire the direction we are facing now. So what I'm going to do is, seeing as there's all this fuel left in this engine here, I'm just going to go for it. Let's just fire the engine up, shall we? Point ourselves prograde and watch her go, basically. And there we go. We've ditched the first stage. I did slightly pull up on our trajectory so that stage will drop back into the surface of Mimus. Its periaps is 60 kilometers, same as ours, so it'll get grabbed and stage recovery will give some money back for that. We are getting an encounter with the moon, which that's fine. We're I don't know if that's going to help or slow us down, but we're getting it anyway. And we're going out there with a lot of fuel left. So that's going to put us... we can't tell. I haven't upgraded the tracking center fully, so maybe we can't tell because of that. Not too sure. But I think the best way to find out would be to deploy our solar panels and, well, fast forward a bit of time out there. I have set an alarm for our Mimbus encounter, so yeah, whichever one I suppose comes first, which would be the Mimbus one, by the looks of it. And while the telescope is off, waiting to leave Kerbal's sphere of influence, and we're waiting for the Mimbus timer to come down, I'm here designing a science buggy. This is quite atrocious. It's got everything slapped onto it. It's got seats for two. It's ugly. It's really ugly. I don't have the right wheels to build a rover really at the moment. I need to unlock them. But the idea of this would be to attach it to the top of the probe, the ship going to Mimbus, land, drop this down with the RCS, and then Jeb and Bob can drive around. They could drive to a different part of Mimbus to pick up some other samples, get other scientific data. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's been any good, but, well, we're going to take it there and we'll find out. But this needs to be built in orbit because I'm not launching this. That would be a waste of fuel to launch something as small as this. So we'll save it here and we'll go back to the station. And we will tell our trusty Clampetron Jr. to build it for us. So let's select the craft. I built it in a space plane hangar. Somebody pointed out that if I build tugs and things like that in a space plane hangar, all the docking ports are orientated correctly from the start because symmetry works differently there. So yeah, that's what we're going to build. There's the science buggy. You can see I've got a few other things in here that I was playing with on different saves. Haven't unlocked anything for those yet, but yeah. Science buggy. Let's load that, and there we are. It requires loads of different things, of which we have everything. So, let's click the build button, and 4 hours, which is just under a Kerbal day. So, right, we'll let that do its thing, and come back when it's done. And there we have it. Our little science buggy is ready. So, let's finalize the build. And that's an interesting way of doing that, I suppose. Right, we're still 2 days off, so really I want to leave that attached for the time being. The idea is I'm going to take this lander and attach this monopropellant tank to it, and then the other end attached to there, and then take it to Mimbus. That's the idea. I want to take the extra mod repellent because I do, although this would then make it a lot heavier. Not too sure about the mod repellent now. Might leave that. I think this has definitely got enough to get 2 Minimus to the surface and go. It's got extra fuel in there because I had planned to bounce around Minimus with it. But that's what the rover's for. So yeah, right. I think we'll wait another 3 Kerbin days basically, and launch to Minimus. So our time has come up and we are ready to go to Minimus. I can turn off the alarm clock now. So all I need to do is dock with this. I'm not sure if I can dock with it whilst it's still attached to there. I think I'll give that a go. Right, who is where? Bill is still down in the cupola at the bottom. Bill, you are going to move to there. We are. And also, Bill, you can start printing rocket parts. There we are. We've got some scrap metal. You can use that metal to replenish our rocket parts because we're kind of running low. We're yeah. Okay, so Jebediah, where did I put you? No crew in there. Oh, are you both inside the pod here anyway? Jebediah and Bob, yes you are. Okay, so that means everyone is ready. So we shall first and foremost double check our oxygen and food supplies. Yep, they're all good. Okay, and undock. And we've apparently switched over to it straight away. That's good. So, moving away nice and gently. And I think we should go up. Slow and steady. And so, apparently, we can dock to craft that haven't actually been launched yet. That's very, very useful to know. So, there we are with everything maxed out in it. So, let's release that craft. Control from the main pod again, I think, would be a good idea. And, let it float away a little bit to start with. Do need to re-add the maneuver node. It's disappeared on us, but I do know that it was pretty much firing straight forward. The maneuver node was actually a while ago, so I might wait another orbit for it. Just quickly do this. Set as target. Line the planes up. Oh, wrong way. And fire it out. There's an encounter with the moon. Not what we want. We want an encounter with Minimus, which should be... There we are. There's our encounter. About 900 meters a second. That's about right. Okay. So, we want to point ourselves at the maneuver node. And go around the planet. And we've just had a warning of some description. A mass something heading towards Kerbal. Right. That poses a small problem. In fact, no it doesn't. We've got full shielding on this pod. I did actually put shielding on it. I didn't put any on the station, I know that much, so that would be a problem. To make sure our Kerbals don't die, we need to turn off the habitat in both of these. We can also turn off the scrubbers in them for the minute, because that's not needed. By disabling the habitat, that means that the game believes Kerbals don't enter this area at all. And as such, that means that they only will live here, and that's where the shielding is. So that's good. We should be fine. We should be fine for that. We've got 3 hours till it comes along. I'm not sure whether anything shows me... Yes, there we are. Mass ejection, 3 hours 45 minutes, so we'll be on our way to Mimbus then. I think if you plan it right, you can hide behind a planet, but I'm not sure about that, so well, let's just go with what we've got and hope our shielding can have it. I am getting warnings about the station having low battery as well. That might be the printing on there, or just might be because solar panels are still being rendered weird. And also, I've been getting warnings about a probe. Where is it? That one here. The booster stage from the Sentinel telescope didn't get caught in Kerbal's atmosphere. It does get caught in Kerbal's atmosphere, but it's a very slow process. So I'm going to have to watch that a couple of times and let it come in, because when you're not actually on the ship, it runs on rails, and if it doesn't basically impact the planet, it just goes round and round in circles and ignores everything. So yeah, that's not ideal. But a couple of times of actually physically being on board that as it goes through the atmosphere will be enough to well, to get it all going. So let's activate this engine. And apparently we have a 5-minute burn time. That's very, very, very surprising. Very surprising indeed. I think the added weight of this is throwing everything out. Let me very quickly check with our lovely Delta V map here. To get from low orbit of Kerbal through to the surface of Mimbus is 1,400 meters a second. We've got 1,300. So I could deliver them to Mimbus, but couldn't get them home again. Okay, what to do now? Do I ditch the buggy completely? So I think I'm going to ditch this buggy. I'm just going to drop it in orbit right here. Let's undock these, shall we? Off, there we go. That increases our Delta V to 1,700. That's still not enough to get to the surface of Mimbus and back again. Oh, actually, tell a lie, it's 370 needed to get back, so that would be enough. So that could take us to Mimbus, do a little bit of experimentation, and then come back again. Must remember to take into account the added mass on the spaceships. That's a very, very noobish mistake to make, one that I realised as soon as I saw those numbers. I thought, yes, that's too heavy. So okay, let's go around again and Go around again, set Mimus as our target, and see if we can get it right. Let's go. One orbit and one rather long burn later, we are on our way to Mimus once again. 9 days away. I think our telescope will leave before that, but yeah. Mistakes were made with that little rover. Maybe I'll have to redesign one of these sort of things at some point, but well, at least redesigning them is easier by building them in space. The solar storm has started. We are now getting 5.02 rad an hour of radiation for the next Kerbal day. Luckily though, we've got shielding. The shielding is there. I don't think any of my Kerbals are going to be suffering with anything major. Bill, however, back on Canisius Station will be. So obviously we're getting blackouts as well. There's no way to talk to this has got no way to talk back to the station anyway, but yeah, I'm guessing certain things are getting messed up a bit. Well, let's just see how it goes and hope that Bill doesn't end up glowing a different shade of green. So I've just received a warning that Bill Kerman was suffering from the cold. I do know that if the power dies, life support goes off and they start freezing to death. But this has got enough batteries on it, in its previous configuration, granted, to last 4 days with no solar panels. So the trip on the dark side of the planet is barely an hour. I'm guessing Time Warp still messes around with the system, because once I've got here, everything checks out. We've got electric charge and things, everything seems yeah, our electric charge is pretty much capped. Everything seems good. But I did notice something. I have updated Kerbalism to the latest version. I'm not sure what version that actually is now. 1.27 I think it is. And we've got this wonderful panel here. This is new. This is, I'm not sure when it comes out. I don't keep Kerbalism completely smack bang up to date. I sort of do a few episodes in a go and then update it as and when. But yeah, this has got sort of the vital signs here. It says climatization, eating, drinking. We've got food growing there, 184 days and 154 days. It gives us all the supplies for the bits and pieces there. That we're all good. We're using oxygen. We're producing water. So yeah, and we're producing ammonia. So everything is good here. So I would just guess that it's a time warp. When you time warp at 1,000 or 10,000, it just doesn't let the batteries charge quick enough, so it doesn't register that the solar panels are getting the light as fast as they do. Because if I was to actually fast forward time round to the back of Kerbal. Goodbye, sun. There we are. Oh wow, our battery is actually only lasting 30 minutes. When I first designed this, it had 4 days worth of battery power. Now granted, that wasn't with well, with the lights going for one. I'm not sure whether they used that much power or not. Apparently not. It didn't have this second pod at the bottom here with all the bits running on it. I don't think I had the greenhouses running. I have turned off the building rockets because we've used all the metal up there. Yep, and we've got another 155 rocket parts there, so that's good. So this is suffering from a lack of battery. I think nighttime is more than 30 minutes. Let's go round. Is it? No, apparently not. Nighttime is barely 10 minutes. So it must be a time warp problem. It must be the thing going round and round and round in circles. Something I'm going to have to keep an eye on to make sure. Or bring up some large battery banks. Another mod that was updated is Interstellar Fuel Switch. My brain is failing for the names of these mods. Yes, Interstellar Fuel Switch. And that... I'm not sure exactly what happened with it. I had the core installed, the core mod to it. And then I had Interstellar Fuel Switch installed separately. But didn't at the same time. I think one of the mods said it had it, and it was a little confusing. But now they're both on there, it does add a capacitor. The capacitors store a great big lump of power. They can store 90,000 energy, I think it is. And they charge up very slowly over time from your solar panels, charging the capacitors up. And then when the solar panels aren't running, they discharge into your batteries. So bringing one of them up and plugging it in somewhere might be a good idea. But I'm getting distracted here anyway. I'm just gonna... Bill, you can go back in there and see if you're alright. Did it actually give you... You've had 1% radiation. So you're okay. You're okay, Bill. That's fine. So right, yes. Let's see, where are we going here? Our telescope leaves the sphere of influence in 2 days, and the pod arrives at Mimas in 4 days. So I guess our next stop is going to be over to the telescope. But that is going to have to wait until the next episode. So, thank you very much for watching. I can't quite believe we're already at 40 episodes. It's obviously been a lot of fun so far. So, yes, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope to see you again in the next one. And, of course, as always, have fun.